this? What have I done? Alright. We got a Masters Zarya on King's Row, aka one of Zarya's carry maps, so this is going to be an interesting one.
Like, nothing's gonna change. Like,
A lot of base in this. What? Okay. I'm just gonna... So let's talk about that one first, right off the bat. You are masters. It is unacceptable that you use bubble like this. 13 energy on the beginning of the fight? Are you shitting me? I know what you're going for, but too early. You gotta wait the extra second or two for him to come to swing like this right here. Oh, wow. Let's see, this is why I might not use this pen as much as I thought I would. Right here. Yeah. Okay. New pen. We're gonna see how it goes. But yeah, so you, on King's Row especially, 80 energy, on no questions asked, your masters, no argue, just 80. Should be off the bat. For anyone that doesn't know how to get 80 energy that quickly, so Reinhardts are going to start swinging on each other, right, in about 2 or 3 seconds. When they start to swing on each other, you know, they're going to bubble their Rein, which they've already done, right? They just bubbled their Rein, so your Rein's going to have an extreme advantage when they start swinging on each other. You bubble yourself, bubble your Rein, double bubble, stand on top of the Reinhardt swings. He swings twice, you get 80 energy, you back off, and start doing some serious fucking damage. So, seeing him do this right here, the other Zarya, it should be just a complete godsend. But you used bubble too early. So you're 5 energy right now. You are a wet noodle. 0 energy. There you go. There's your 40, but that should have been from right off the bat. And then your self-bubble is kind of a fail as well. Okay. What makes you self-bubble here is the question. You're bubbling looking for energy, but nobody's shooting at you. So, already right out of the gate, very poor bubble management. So, this one on right here on the Rein is pretty good, but you should be at 100 energy by now. From that first fight into the second. Think about if you're at 80 energy right now, that right click you just did, you're probably taking them to, you know, right about here. 25% health. So you're a wet noodle. I know you're saving bubble right now for your Rein, but do you even bubble him during these swings? No. You don't bubble him even during when he swings. You don't enable your Reinhardt. How much damage does he take? I mean, he doesn't take a lot. I think he just kind of gets scared, but no enabling so far. Mechanics are pretty good.
oh, you're dead.
Good swap. Finisher. Nice. Dude, mechanics are actually pretty good. As expected, though. Biggest problem already is bubble management. If you had been at 180 to 100 a charge this entire fight, totally different. Totally different. How long are you beaming some of these people down? Let's go back a little bit more. I'm going to watch this whole fight one more time. So the Rein goes up. You're still at 0. Bubble him. Don't really start doing damage until right now. If you're at 100 energy right now while he's standing up, 100 health, less. More time he'd have to have shield up right now. That Zarya is probably now closer to 25% health.
Oh, you're dead.
Back off the Rein so severely right there. Look at that. He's like 50 right now. And that's with the healing he was getting when he was at the higher HP. killing him, the dash. You're at decent energy now, but I think if you would still be higher, just overall, because of the bubble rotation, so you're still at 100 energy. Mercy dies without having a tracker like that. It's all energy at the moment. The mechanics are fine. Positioning's not bad. It's the decision making.
Yeah, we can.
Pop off.
So, I don't know if it's just a one fight thing.
I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing.
Into the bubble so much. Right left.
That's actually a pretty good bubble. I'm okay with that.
Big slam. I'm slapping. No, they got slammed.
Somebody just ate a pin. GG.
Oh, dude.
It's fine. That was a good hold. Sorry, you got it.
Little stagger, but
What?
I wasn't too upset about the retest bubble.
They do too.
Because you don't want to get too low in that situation because you don't have a lot of people alive.
We'll do it first.
So if you require a lot of healing, so like, let's say you just pressured the Zarya without using the bubble
Okay, do we want to grab first?
and just took like 200
Yeah,
damage,
but, like-
that'd actually probably be less effective than you
And
did, so I'm
dragon.
okay with that.
Alright, now.
Good, I like this. You're pressing your advantage.
Ready,
I like
ready.
it. Did you say you were grabbing? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
We need to do it. Ready, ready, ready.
Okay, so you did. Counter grab. Yeah.
No.
Probably shouldn't have beated that. There's too many ults they wasted.
It's fine. Good. Clap by this Hanzo.
Yeah, they do. They do.
This Ryan's sleeping over here. Ryan's sleeping left side.
Fuck the Rhine. Go, yeah, go for this contest. I'm okay with that
Going
bubble.
to contest.
I don't think Rhine needed that bubble, but... Did you see something maybe I didn't see?
Left side, left side.
So I'm okay with that. That was pretty
Going
good.
to contest.
I think you just bubbled him just to bubble him. It looked like he was okay.
I have shatter.
Good right click jump. Target on the ground. Soldier, good. Mechanics are definitely your strong suit.
Mercy anti, mercy anti.
I also like that you press your advantage a lot on when you're up or when you have bubble or whatever. So, just as a thing for anyone that's not doing that, like let's say this is especially common. I'd say probably like plat. No, actually even probably mid diamond and below. Off tanks don't press at all. It's actually crazy how much you can get away with.
Oh,
Split back here.
Mate is not that great with your walls. Okay. So, remember what I said about pressing your advantage?
Split back here.
It's smart. It's good to do. But there's a catch. You always need to have this, your bailout ability. Right? So, your bailout ability is for Diva, boosters and DM. For Roadhog, it's take a breather. For Zarya, it's self bubble. So you press the advantage a little bit earlier. Yeah, right about here. This is where you take the Hanzo arrow and the fire strike. And that's okay. This is fine.
oh,
Or you back off here
Split back
and you
here.
go back to save your run, which is fine, right? You want to go back and save him if you know he's going to be in some trouble. But here's where the problem lies. The pressing forward. I know you get cut off by Dragon a little bit, but your run was actually still there
Shot on
with
me.
you.
It's fine. Go for that, Mercy.
And also, I think you might have broke your LOS with your Ana. I can't tell where she is, but there is a distinct no healing during that. And then turning the corner. I don't know if she could see you, but
Yeah,
I
we're
honestly
shot
wouldn't
at
have
me.
backed
It's
off
fine.
that
Sleeping.
hard with the dragon.
Right
Because
half.
there's a little space here you probably could have played with. Now, don't get me wrong, this is close, right? Oh, hang on, sorry.
Split back here.
It's a little bit of space, not a lot. Right where you're standing, right here. Oh. Honestly, no. I think
Yeah,
you're
a
just
lucky
gonna
shot
fuck there,
at me. It's
honestly.
fine. Go for that mercy.
There's a small, a very tiny window, on very, very tiny between the dragon and where your Rhine was, that you probably could have played with if your Ana was in LOS, but I don't actually have the info if your Ana was there or not. I'm assuming she would be. She should be, but,
Right half.
you know, I actually don't have the information to make that judgment, so I'm gonna actually say that's fine.
Do I know this guy here? No. We just
They're
lose.
wasting a lot of ults here.
Oh. Yeah.
Overall, and regarding to that last fight, I think the best thing you're doing is you should just don't press at all. You bubble your Reinhardt and get out a little bit quicker. I think that's pretty much just the point I want to make more than anything, is just saving. This is your bailout ability, your self bubble, just going a little too far. And I mean, this is Master, so like a lot of this stuff is a lot harder to work with, a lot like smaller details, and it's just kind of making decisions quicker. Also, by the way, your latency is incredibly low. That's awesome. So sometimes it gets a little hard to, you know, point out some things because it was just like 2 feet forward too far or whatever it would be, just out of position.
No.
But it gets
Don't go
Like
for
this.
the mercy,
Half
by the way.
100 Ryan.
I'm okay with it, but there's definitely a few ways it could have been not done. But it's just a different mindset on how you think
Huge
about
pick,
the
we
game.
go. We're gonna res that.
We're on. We're on.
By the way, also another bubble on your Rhine? When did you bubble him? I don't think you got any energy. Oh, it's the Hanzo. You missed the Rhine. That's okay.
Huge
That
pick,
happens.
we go. We're gonna res that.
We're on. We're on.
I think you're still down one. Okay, that one I'm not gonna let fly. So you know this Ryan should have Shatter coming up, right? So you should be doing some form of ult tracking in your head, and this is the second time he's done this to you. The first one on first point, which I was okay with, but this one not so much. Just leave you open with stun. You get nanoed. Get the hole in your Rhine. Why are you shooting the sleeping Reinhardt?
Play Zarya, I'll play Zarya.
Dude, that
Get refrozen again, so it doesn't matter too much, but
dude.
you would rather watch you for the Zarya there. Leave the Ryan sleeping for a couple seconds. More damage out. Plus he's bubbled anyways.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You have grab coming out.
Damn,
Shoot
I
it.
missed.
Not bad. That was actually pretty good.
He's 1 HP. Same way, same way.
Ryan's gonna get
Oh my god, another dragon hail. Yeah, you guys won that though. Smash, smash.
Maybe.
Help Rana.
We maybe won it.
Ball point now. Sorry.
You kill Zarya, right? No, 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 you're gonna feed!
Come back to point.
You're gonna feed! That was the most Masters move I've seen in a long time.
They got the res.
Pressing your advantage is always good, right? And it's okay to chase kills sometimes. But you're 130 or 50 something HP, and you were the last person alive on your team to win that fight. They came out, of course, in spawns. You see running out and whatnot. But keep in mind that it was pretty much a 1v1 on the point. So you running away, this isn't great. Like, you're not going to get anything out of doing that. I mean, are you going to stay on Hammond anyways?
They got the res.
I'm actually really okay with this pick. Hog is pretty good at stalling, contesting. Only thing I'm worried about here is your Ryan's gonna kept getting walled and frozen. He's not gonna have bubble to bail him out. And C9?
Thank you, Anna.
Like I said though, so far though, your mechanics are by far your greatest strength.
Can we kill the hospital? Dude, there's no way he killed both healers.
Okay, Hook 1.0, hello?
Dude, there's no way he killed both healers.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that was a good move, but yeah, okay.
There you go.
That was probably the best you could have got yourself out of that. So, that last sequence was fine for yourself, but
So sad.
it's more or less your Ryan just gets frozen run over
Like,
because he doesn't have much support. So Hog was a decent pick for the stall, but I don't know if I would have stayed with it. The only reason I say that is because just... Alright, I'll be honest with you. Masters Ryans are kind of infuriating because they're either hold W until they die or they hold right click until they die. There's no in between, really. And yours is more of a right click kind of guy. Especially with the Mei. That just means he's going to stand there and just wait till the Mei walks up and freezes him enough to freeze him and kill him. So he's going to need that bubble bailout more than anything. And especially even with the latter end, which is the more aggressive Reinhardts, they're going to be swinging so hard they're not going to be watching their health pool that much, that bubble might save their life enough just to get their attention and be like, hey, let's not, oh, I would have, yeah, listen, you're on attack. You get to set the tempo here. You get to set the tempo for your attack here. The second you see this fire strike coming in, right here, right here, self bubble, take it. At least 20 energy, and you took an extra arrow. You probably get close to 40 off self bubbles right there. So you'd go into this fight probably around 28 to 30 energy. A lot better than 0 right now. If you self bubble got an instant 40. If that was a different self bubble, you'd probably have it like, you know, a couple seconds ago. But if you had 80, or close to 80. Who did you bubble? Was your Genji? Missed it. Oh no, it was Hammond. He just exploded.
What should we run?
Yeah, you're making the right call. You need to get out. You can hang on with this choke a little bit and try to build a little charge, but...
You're sleeping?
Just get
Oh,
frozen.
nice. Nice. Good advantage.
This is hell and a half.
Uh-oh. That was a good job recognizing an opportunity.
Thank you, huge.
That was a really good job.
May.
Good job getting behind her for the wall. That's smart. Careful. Nice. Ryan needs to die.
Kill Ryan, kill Ryan, kill the Reinhardt.
He needs to die.
No one shot the run but me.
So, when your Ryan dies,
Kill Ryan, kill Ryan, kill
kind
the
of puts a
Reinhardt.
move. So I know he gets booped, but there's a movement you don't do here, which gets me a little nervous. You get well, he already goes in this corner, right? So I'll tell you exactly the moment you should recognize this. Right here, you should be running towards him, right? And the reason for that is Ryan can put his shield up and stop you from doing damage to him. Your Reinhardt doesn't have that, like, disadvantage because he can swing through it. Kills him. He puts shield up here. You should be walking towards him to try to get behind his shield and right-click melee him. Especially you get nanoed here at 85, 80 charge. Right-click melee will kill him. 110%. But he's just going to shield all of your damage. All your great damage here. Just gets shielded. And then there's a Mei just sneaks up on you and kills you. He gets booped. It's a little bit unfortunate. You might not have made it because of the boop. But the fact that that move was not made gets me a little nervous. Because especially Reinhardt shielding, like that hard shielding, is an instant, you know, walk past, right click, melee. Don't even give him a chance.
How about I go Pharah instead?
Dude, I was okay.
Pharah?
Good grab.
Yes.
You can grab it, you can grab it.
It's a good self bubble. I would have bubbled your Ryan too when they were swinging and maximize your energy.
Don't get shattered, don't get shattered.
Are you gonna counter grab this? Don't. You need to reset.
We have nothing for grab dragon.
Mercy's one.
Well, they didn't even grab dragon. They grabbed nutted. Alright, so they're in these fights walking up like this. Like here. This is a great time to use self bubble. Right here. It's like slow down, make yourself a little bit more predictable. Like walk towards them straight in line. Want him to shoot you. And force him to try to take a shot at you and self bubble it. Is what I mean. Offensive and defensive bubbles are very different. On offense, you can set the tempo a little bit more. You can, you know, really try to figure out what do you want to be doing with your attack and how fast you want to be going. And their defensive Zarya right now is already at 80-100 charge. You're at 0. So she can use her bubbles freely. You need a full bubble rotation to catch up. So you want to try to close that gap as quickly as you can. The best way of thinking it is like Orissa's. So defensive Orissa has a much stronger advantage over offensive Orissa because she has the first 900 shield and then can immediately put down a second shield for another 900. And then it starts a cooldown. An attacking Orissa has the shield to throw down right away and then has a cooldown. So she only has 900 versus 1800 shield. The way you can win a battle as an offensive Orissa is either just pure shield break, or when you're using your fortify and shield, when your shield's breaking or about to break, you fortify as it breaks and just keep shooting the shield to try to narrow that gap. And after 1 or 2, maybe even 3 rotations, you should be able to catch up to their Orissa's shield rotations. So you're both putting down 900 at the same time, instead of them having 1800 and you having 900.
Not there, not there.
The same thing kind of applies here with Zarya bubbles. I like it. Oh, the wall. But good thing you had dragon. It's a little season 10 for you.
Cancel it.
I wouldn't go too far, but I would definitely press the advantage a little bit, because they might recontest. Yep, this is when you're back off. Good.
I'll clear all off in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, you need to be getting out though. Nice.
Please, somebody on the cart.
Killing that Reinhardt actually was massive. I didn't think that Ryan was going to feed that badly, and he did. So you're actually okay now. Good, waiting for heals. You also don't have self bubbles, so don't press too hard, but now you do, so you're good.
Hanzo behind
Watch
cell.
out for the May wall.
Back out. Back out.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't. Was the turret new or did you just not see it?
Hanzo behind cell.
I think you just don't see it.
Back out. Back out.
Why are we playing like such fucking pussies?
There's a Hanzo top behind, but yeah.
I mean, your team is playing pretty passive, but we recognize that right away with your Ryan. It's actually look at this. Look at this. Like you're. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. You're looking in right here. He's already peacing out. He's going home. So.
The Hanzo is
This is something you kind of had to recognize, though, as you're playing the game and figuring out how your team's style is. Because I think that's the second or third time you've died to an overextension.
RP, guys.
And then the problem becomes...
Stop playing the game.
Conquest. Hold on. So, your biggest problem so far is by far bubbles. Like, getting energy, maintaining energy, using... Like, once you get energy, then you can use your bubbles pretty much for, like, saving teammates and whatnot. But because that's your biggest problem, your other part, which is part 2, is the overextensions and dying, is what's hurting you even more. Because it's taking you so long to get at operating energy that
Might take damage if you want.
I think I might just go over to
by the time it
Farah.
takes you get like you get up to that
Another
energy
whole
you
team.
want to be at, oh, you're on us fucking toast.
Since I
You're
can't do
playing
anything
toast
anyways.
too. You're just not able to do the kind of damage you need.
You guys
to
don't
do.
need the barrier, do you?
You wanna give me Zarya?
So it's like you can play aggressive like that, but your bubbles are lacking. So when you do play aggressive like that, you're not getting the heals you need, and you don't have an mana, and so you're still pushing. Hello?
2 golds. Bob, do you have golds? Alright, I ran on Farah.
Why don't I have gold?
Grab whenever. No. Yeah, go.
Your Hans is in some serious trouble. Good recognizing it to push in though.
Rogue Storm Arrow kills me.
I think that Reinhardt's done that like 3 or 4 times at this point. I think as a Zarya or off-tank player, the 2 most important ults you're looking for is the other off-tank player and their main tank player's ults. Well, actually, also to their off-support, depending on what you're running. So if you're running Diva, and you know they have a Zarya, it's super important that you're tracking what their grab is at. If you're playing Zarya, and they have a Zen, or Lucio, it's super important that you're tracking their ult. If you're playing Zarya, and they have a Rein, it's super important that you know. So when you do grab, especially if you grab down 1 or 2, or even not, if not, like let's say you go to grab and they have trans, but you want to try to cut through it anyways with your Rein, and you know your Rein's going to start swinging. If you know that they have Shatter, and your Rein's stupid, then he's probably going to get shattered when he tries to counter Shatter out of the grab. So you can save him with that bubble. So you're going to have to save that bubble for those swings. You should be saving the bubble anyways for the swings to enable the Reinhardt to be doing more damage onto the grab. Like, that's kind of a given. But either way, it's something that you're going to need to also keep in mind. You got to remember, though, you are playing at one of the highest levels of the game, but people are still not that bright here, in my opinion. They're kind of sometimes not all there. So you do have to sometimes account for stupidity. So even if it's like not your job to be doing something, like accounting for something, like, you know, what their Reinhardt Shatter is at, like your Rein should probably be doing it a little bit more. You should do it anyways because you're the next person who should be, or the next person it affects the most. Or even better yet, the only other person that can have an effect on it. I've gotten Shatter blocked by Zarya bubbles who knew it was coming numerous times, and it's infuriating.
We don't.
That's a good Zarya. Good. I think this is the first time we've hit 100 energy almost all game. Break it. Break the middle. Shoot it. Shoot. Stop. You don't stop shooting.
Dude, Farah, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know if I've noticed that, but I don't. Have we always been not shooting those walls?
Alrighty.
They lowered the health of the walls too, so you can break a piece.
Oh, fuck, dude, the mercy.
It's especially good for saving your Reinhardt. If your Reinhardt's stuck. You also don't have a Reinhardt anymore, so that's good. I think this game is a wash. I mean, we knew that already, but still. Your team's already given up. It's also kind of Masters for you.
Their soul is going to burn.
Aggressive, I like it.
Time.
Good bubble.
It's so
He didn't take a
bad.
lot of damage, but it's still a good bubble. What's he doing? It's a good press, yep. Break a bubble.
Spec Molten here.
Good.
Never mind.
If you C9 there, I would have died. Okay, you need to go get your grab, though, right now. Like, seriously. I know you're the only one really on cart, but you need to tell them that you need to go get grab to win this next fight.
I'm playing off
Alright, you got 4 there. You can go now.
Men are fair into the grab.
And I never got Farah, dude.
Okay.
Good call.
There's no chance of doing that.
There's a C9 coming. There's a C9 coming. You guys are playing some dangerous game here. Alright, nice of not C9ing. I'll give that. Also, I'm sure you know at this point that because you're running triple DPS or quad DPS that Zarya is just not the pick anymore. But I think any sense of caring at that point is kind of out the window. You need to turn around and just get the fuck out. Whoever's over there is dead.
That's fine. Just get out of the energy, I guess. I'll get off my alt charge.
Nice. Good decision to leave them. Okay. So you can self bubble right there and just to get some energy off that torp turret because you're going in here at 10. Not a lot. Good bubble. A little late, wish it was a little sooner, so you're because he should have died, but
Fuck.
see then I question that self bubble. Like Maze Freeze doesn't do a lot.
Fuck.
Just wait the extra second or two for it to be done. It's almost done.
That's your healer now.
Now you don't have self bubble for the press here.
Nano though.
You could actually kept going on that Reinhardt if you had self. Oh boy, you're taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, you're dead. Hog? No, you gotta get back quick. There you go. Thank you. Good. That's fine. Take the freeze.
Oh,
Good.
sad dude.
Yeah, you
I
lose
saw
that.
him just. Torp one.
Nah, you lose that.
Yeah. I like when our main tank tanks.
See, the Masters toxicity is coming in. That's why I paused it. I knew it was coming. All right. Honestly, mechanical skill is 100% your strongest by far. Like it's not even close. How if you just worked on the bubbles more than anything, like seriously. Oh, hang on, I gotta get a feel for this thing. 1 bubbles, 100% bubbles. If you work on your bubbles, then that's just your bread and butter at the moment because you get higher energy, you do more damage. Honestly, a lot of the time you're very low energy, especially for Masters. With the Rhine, I mean, after the Rhine it was kind of wash. I even probably should have just stopped the VOD after the Reinhardt swapped. But a lot of those fights, like knowing what a bubble rotation is, you do a rotation before the fight starts, or doing a rotation when they engage, like a double bubble rotation. So when they Rhine swinging on your Rhine, you bubble yourself, stand inside of him, and bubble your Rhine, and try to get the 2 swings. To 1, enable him, and 2, build as much energy as possible, then really back off, because you're vulnerable. And that way you can be ready to go in that 5 or 6 seconds later to start playing aggressive, because you know the bubbles are coming back up in 2 seconds to really press your advantage. But with the low energy, it's hurting you a lot because your mechanical skill was fine. Honestly, I honestly don't know what good. Oh, this is Wrecking Ball. Like accuracy is on Zarya, but from what I saw, I thought it was pretty good. So that being said, number 2 is overextensions. So there's a couple of them where you got really high energy and you pressed your advantage and you were going for it, which is fine. But when you pressed that advantage, you didn't have self bubble ready, or you just overestimated what your team was doing. So like I think it was you definitely. It was like, why is my team being a bunch of pussies? And we got to get a good laugh at the Reinhardt turning around, walking away while you're holding W. But a lot of that is more of just realizing what your team is doing and how you can press that advantage. And then of course you have the kind of a 3-head moments with like the ball, where you try to go press the advantage at 100 HP and stagger, and then end up losing the next fight. Rip just got here. Unlucky, buddy. Sorry. But yeah, so that's definitely number 2. Number 3, though, this is a little bit harder. Because honestly, your mechanics were good. The grabs were all pretty good. Even the one at the end of 3rd, where you were about to die, where you threw it, was phenomenal. That was the best spot to throw it, because you could have thrown it at any number of people, but you chose a zone grab, a zoning area, because if you shot it at the cart, which you did, or next to the cart, people were going to run towards the cart at some point, and they did, and you end up getting 3. Started at 0, nobody was in it, and then 3 people ended in it, and you got all 3 of them, which was great. And I don't mean that as the zone grab. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Ult tracking. Also, that looks terrible. Is it because the thing's there? I can't. Whatever. So, a lot of times for this one, there was a lot of times where you got shattered, which you shouldn't have got shattered. Though the first one was fine. Like, the first point recontest, like, that's okay. That happens. But, as Zarya... So, you're number 2... Okay, so the most important person on the team to be tracking the other team's Reinhardt shatter is your Reinhardt, right? So your Reinhardt tracks their position, their shatter, because he needs to be able to block it, or know when it's coming, or if there's a flank shatter, or whatever it is. Number 2, though, is you, because you're the only other person on the team, unless you have a break, who can technically do anything to stop him. Well, unless you have Slash or Sleep, but that's a little bit different. Those are hard. Because you can bubble yourself or your Rein. So a good example was when the grab, you grabbed. So normally you should be saving bubble for your Reinhardt to swing anyways in a grab. But more importantly is if you have the bubble coming up and you know he has shatter, when you grab, he might be trying to counter shatter to stop the team from dying in the grab. So you can bubble your Rein, especially if he's stupid. And I know we're going wrong, it happens to the best of us. So he goes to shatter, hits the bubble while he's swinging, so your whole team doesn't get fucked. And everybody's still fine. I think it's space, isn't it? Space always talks about ult tracking as a super important thing to be doing, to climb, and to get better at the game. And he's an off-tech player, so I think it's probably good to fit, or it's pretty fitting to reference him a little bit. So, like we talked about a little bit earlier in the video, if you're D.Va, it's very important to be tracking their Zarya ult. If you're Zarya, it's very important to be tracking their Rein, their D.Va ult, their Zarya ult, and their off supports, or whatever their defensive ult is. Because if you get grabbed very quickly and you know that they trans at your last grab and you beat him to the next trans, then you have a free grab for the next X amount of seconds if you really beat him there. So it's like you could just use grab to win the fight alone, which is a powerful tool to have, to know that you have that ability. Hey guys, if you want to stay up to date with the latest, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, or join Discord. And if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. For more information on how to submit a VOD for review or coaching, please check the information in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching!